Welcome to the Football Rig, back again with another show of the AAR, the After Action Review. And this is where I'm gonna, dissect the games about Arsenal and about all the Premier League games in the Champions League in the past 2 days. It was, for Arsenal, we won again 2-0. What a great start to the tournament. What a really good start from Arsenal. I'm so happy and thrilled about the results that Arteta got and the boys. And Olympiacos is not that strong of a team, but I'm really happy about the win. But we're gonna talk about many games. Okay, we're gonna go through them a bit. I'm not gonna say I watched them all, but I can tell you for sure that I looked into the extended highlights, and I'll give you my thoughts about the results. And we're gonna look at the table, how it looks like currently, and we'll see how it goes. So yeah, let's go through it, man. Let's go through it. So the first game we're gonna talk about. I don't know if you guys have thoughts or opinions on where should we start, and hit the like button before we start, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. It really helps the channel to grow, and I love what I'm doing here, and I love the building the community and all that stuff, man. Come on, guys, come on. If you guys have any particular requests or on which game to start, otherwise I'm gonna go randomly. I'm gonna keep Arsenal like in the middle. Usually I keep it in the last one, but this time I'm gonna keep it in the middle. So we have 6 games to talk about. So I'll make it the third game. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Third game, I'll watch it. Yeah, talk about it. We'll see how it goes. If you have any other opinions, you are more than welcome to leave it in the comments. But okay. So first of all, the game we want to talk about, I would go with Monaco and Manchester City. So let me just add the stats quickly here, so we can talk about it. Yeah, man. AAR, After Action Review, man. One of my favorite shows that actually gives me, a good overview of what's going on, and yeah, that's what's up. So the first game is Monaco versus Manchester City. You know, Haaland again in the scoreboard. He scores again. This guy keeps scoring. And in this rate, man, I think he's going to break a lot of records. But, anyways, let's talk about the game. Then we're going to talk about Haaland's stats, because I think the stats is something to talk about, really. It's important to mention what Haaland is doing as a player. But just give me a second, guys, here. Just want to check something. Yeah. All right. All right. So, about Monaco, Manchester City, they started, they started really strong. City, they scored 2 goals, and but however, Monaco came back and drew the first goal, and then the second goal from Monaco came the last minute. It was a penalty from Eric Dyer, out of all people. Eric Dyer, the ex Tottenham player, Spurs player, he managed to score a penalty against them. But what I want to say is they had, the majority of the ball. They controlled the game, but they didn't really kill the game. And that really happens in the Champions League when you don't kill the game. The momentum, you would see a shift in the momentum, and it's really important for you to see where you stand in terms of the game, and you need to kill your opponents fast. And it was going to happen with Arsenal, to be honest. I mean, I'm not gonna go deep into them, but what I'm trying to say, the example here where Manchester City didn't really kill the game in similar manner. Arsenal did not really kill the game. We stayed like 1-0, and in a 1-0, it's really dangerous. Score. They can score at any moment. And for example, Olympiacos, they had really good attempts, and they could have scored at any moment. But for Manchester City, they control the game. They hit the bar 2 times. They hit the post 2 times with Reinders and Foden. So they actually had really dangerous balls and chances, but they didn't really convert them into goals. And Man City just conceded in the last minute, and the game ended up 2-2. So if we look at the stats, and the stats says it all. I mean, 18 shots, 6 on target, compared to 8 shots from Monaco and 3 on target. So that's clear domination from Manchester City with a possession of 72%. But again, I mean, when you have all these stats in your favor and you're not converting them to goals, that's you know, not much to say there. Really, not really much to say there, except that they didn't really get the 3 points, so they get only 1 point. And yeah, I mean, Monaco is considered one of the easy teams to play against. I mean, there's no easy games in the Champions League, but I mean, considerably, if you look at the teams that are in the Champions League, Monaco is one of the easiest games that you should have secured those 3 points, in my opinion. But again, I think, in my opinion, looking at it from a top view, from an overview, to say that Manchester City is heavily relying on Haaland. They're not getting goals from different players. The wingers, Reinders, or the midfield, or Foden himself. I mean, they are heavily relying on Haaland. And if Haaland was going to score a hat trick, by the way, and if he scored the hat trick, they probably would have won the game. But you cannot rely 100% on only one player. I know he's the number 9. I know he's the attacking player in their squad, but still, you need to have some sort of diversity from where the goals come in. Just a little bit. I know he's the main guy. He should have the highest numbers in terms of goal tally and all that stuff, but it shouldn't be only heavily relying on him. So for me, uh, they relied on Haaland a lot, and they didn't kill the game, so they were punished. They were punished, and Monaco managed to get a point out of that game. But what I want to mention is Haaland's goal tally. It's really scary, guys. His goal tally is insane. His goal tally is insane, man. And I want to talk about that just in a minute. I just want to post this quickly somewhere. Yeah, man. The goal tally of this guy is insane. Oh my god. Uh, but yeah, man. I mean, when you're playing, I mean, like Haaland, man, I never expected him to convert those goals that he had in Dortmund. And I'm going to talk about it in a sec, how many goals he scored with the previous teams. Uh, in the previous teams, and their goals tally. And speaking of which, there are some interest from Barcelona, and I don't think Manchester City will allow him to go in less for 200 million. And Barca can't pay that money. We've seen them do it before with Coutinho and Neymar and all these players. Um, but yeah, we'll see. Just posted that quickly. Great. So for Haaland, he played for Salzburg, right? 6 games. And I just got these stats for you guys to say 6 games, 8 goals. Interesting, right? Now with Borussia Dortmund, he played 13 games and 15 goals. Also interesting. And I'm talking about purely now UCL. I'm not talking about league tally. I'm talking about UCL. And for Manchester City, he played 31 games and he scored 29. 29. I mean, if you sum it up, it's gonna come with a 52 goals in 50 games. You know how insane that rate is? That you're scoring just like that? That's an insane rate. I mean, I cannot fathom this guy's way of scoring. It's just incredible. I mean, as a player, it's just really incredible to watch, to see, and to even witness. And I don't think we've seen a player, even the Messis and the Ronaldos of these world, and we know that we're never gonna see a player like Messi again or a player like Ronaldo again. But I'm thinking we're witnessing something different here. We're witnessing a goal machine. That's what we're witnessing, a goal freaking machine. And I think you know if Manchester City is gonna allow him to leave, I think it's gonna be a very hefty amount. Like they're gonna ask for 200, 250 million for him or something like that. I don't think they're gonna let him go easy. And before I wrap up the Manchester City, I would say section or segment, I wanna share this tweet that I found on Twitter. See here, it says, and of course, Haaland is now competing with the top echelon of the players in the world. You have uh, three players that are currently on top, which is Harry Kane, Mbappe, and Haaland. 17 goals for Haaland and 3 assists, so that's 20 GA in 10 games. So basically 2 GA per game. Mbappe has 15 goals and 17 assists in 11 games. Still, that's a very, very good, I mean, numbers. And Harry Kane is having 18 goals and 3 assists, so that accumulated to 21 GA in 11 games. 6 of those goals are penalties, but still they count. So that's why those three currently are on the top strikers in the world, and I mean particularly in Europe, but I think they are the top strikers currently in the world and the markets as well. I mean, yeah, man, these are crazy numbers. These are crazy numbers. But that's it for Manchester City. I want to move on to the Liverpool game. The Liverpool game is an insane one. I mean, Galatasaray, Shawarma FC, they won. How? Oh my god. Oh my god. I want to see that, man. The Galatasaray one is insane. Is insane. Let me add the stats right here, and we're gonna dissect it as well and drill into it and talk about it more and more. I mean, crazy thing that is happening. Liverpool back-to-back losses coming from the Premier League, a loss against Crystal Palace, and now against Galatasaray. Galatasaray, who lost in the last Champions League game for them, 5 or 4-1 against Frankfurt. I mean, out of all teams, which is used to be Ekitike's game. So from the stats, I think it's a bit deceiving, to be honest. But from what I've seen in the highlights, to be honest, Galatasaray was really attacking Liverpool. They really gave him a hard time. They really genuinely gave them a hard time. The penalty came a bit early in the 15th minute mark, and that's where Osimhen just scored the goal. But overall, they really had good chances. Osimhen also missed 1v1. Yes, Liverpool had some chances, especially the Ikitike one. I like the back heel one. Verts also had a shot, and that's as far as I can recall the chances that they had. But this team, this Liverpool team, is missing something. I don't know what's going on with Slot and his squad, but it's missing something, right? And I don't know. I mean, you come from I mean, as a reigning champion, and you add a lot of good players, not to mention just good players, Ikitike, Isak, Florian Wirtz, Frimpong, Kirkez, all these good players. You add them into your squad, and you're not able to, get something out of them, get an output, get them to gel together. And I think it's due to the manager, to be honest. Slot is not able to get the best out of his team, and he has everything in terms of players, in terms of the quality of the players as well, but he's unable to utilize them to the best of their abilities and potential. And you know, I said this in Twitter, and I said it a lot. People really hammered me. I said Liverpool are riding their luck with the late winners because the performances were not really convincing. They were not really convincing. At any moment, that those games would have gone sideways. So cannot rely on late bangers and late winners all the time. That's really risky. In the same manner that I'm being consistent, we cannot, as Arsenal as well, rely on set pieces. That's not just reliable. It's not reliable at all. And now we're seeing the gaps. We're seeing the issues in Liverpool. It's being exposed now. It's being surfaced, and that's what we're witnessing right now. And back-to-back losses. And one more stat that TK mentioned, and Ahwa, big up to T and big up to Kusam as well in his Ahwa show. He said 7 months that Liverpool did not. I mean, 7 months. And Galatasaray is the first team that they did not concede from Liverpool for 7 months. So that's a remarkable stat. That means that Liverpool was scoring against every team, regardless if it's a win, draw, or lose. They managed to score against those teams, but they couldn't score against Galatasaray. And even Salah complained about the stadium and how loud it is. and I think the Galatasaray fan did their part, to be honest, and they got a win and deservedly, man. And T is probably happy about this, and I'm happy about it, man. I'm happy that they're losing confidence as a team, as Liverpool, and it could really reflect and impact even in the league. This can really spill in the league as well, league form. I mean, I'm happy that they lost because for me they are the main contenders, them and Manchester City. So for them not to be that confident, I'm very happy about that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie about it. But now I'm gonna talk about my team, Arsenal. You know, Arsenal. What a night for Arsenal. You know, Yeah, we're gonna talk about Arsenal now. Let's bring up the stats for Arsenal. There we go. For Arsenal, you know, they was gonna lose. I mean, not gonna lose that game, but a draw could have happened at any moment because they were not really clinical, and we scored a bit early, about minute 12, I think. The goal from Eucharist, man. Oof. But before that, Martinelli had a chance with this header, but he missed it. A beautiful cross from Skelly, and Martinelli missed it. Gyökeres, a banging pass from Odegaard, who's rightfully the man of the match. He deserves to be man of the match because he played very, very well. The passes were incredible, so slick, so smooth. It makes looks so easy. It looks so easy on the eye, and I love seeing Odegaard in that form. Man, he was so slick. The passes came in so nicely, and he created a lot of chances, a lot of detrimental chances. And Eucharist bullied two players and tried to score with his weak foot, but it hit the post, and Martinelli follows up with a goal. So I'm happy that Martinelli scored, but I'm also a bit, I would say, nervous for Gyökeres because before there was no much chances created for Gyökeres, and I would say, okay, the guy needs service from his team, from his creative players, from his wingers. But now that I'm seeing that he's getting those chances, he's getting those passes from Odegaard, from Martinelli, and even from Trossard, but he still did not convert him. He didn't even finish his dinner, and that's a bit of a problem for me. But not so much because we won the game, but in terms of the player himself, I wanted him to actually score, and I think he deserved to score in that game. But it's fine. It's fine. At the end of the day, we're happy with a win. Martinelli, on the other hand, he played very well, but at some instances where when he dribbles, he always looks down, and that's a problem for me. Is when you look down, you don't raise your head up and look around where the players are opening, where the players are running, and plenty of times I see Gyökeres making that run, but Martinelli, he's looking down and he's trying to dribble his player, he's trying to take on his player, or the defender of Olympiacos, and he could have easily just passed to Gyökeres, and that would have been an easy goal, or at least a very dangerous chance for Arsenal. But overall, as a performance, I think the idea of them passing the ball to Gyökeres, and because Gyökeres is a type of player who will always make that runs. I've seen him do it plenty of time, and we talked about it many times. The guy is doing the runs, but Arsenal players are not seeing him. But I think with time, when the team is exposed to more minutes together, they will understand how Gyökeres plays. And we haven't been playing with a number 9 for quite some times. I mean, we had Havertz and we played with Moreno, so that they're not really an all in all number 9. And now you have a number 9, so now you have to adapt even your gameplay, that that your attacker is going to run. He's there and he's going to run. So maybe even if Martinelli does not look and see Gyökeres running, he can just pass it. And that feeling that that the guy he's gonna run, he's gonna make it. So that comes with a lot of confidence, with a lot of uh, understanding and communication between the players, and it will take time for that to happen. But I'm happy about Martinelli's start for this season, and how he took being bench player and being a super sub. So big up to them. And of course, the again Odegaard, another pass, another incredible pass to Saka. Saka managed to just scores, shoots it between the goalkeeper's legs, and we scored the goal a little bit late in the game, but it's okay. It's okay. So now we won two games, 2-0 each one. So we're sitting at a 4 GD, which is goal differences. So that's very good from Arsenal. And the first game was even away against Atletico Bilbao, and then that's very important for you to win. And it's also crucial for you to collect those 3 points, because the next game is going to be against Atletico Madrid. Ooh, Woo! We're gonna talk about the next game. I have also that posted here. So we're gonna talk about the next game. So Atletico Madrid is gonna be very, very difficult. And we have Inter Milan also in our run in the Champions League. So it's important for Arsenal to collect points from those teams that are considerably easier than others, right? Because Atletico Madrid is definitely harder than Olympiacos. Inter Milan is definitely harder than Olympiacos. But so that's important for us to gain 3 points, so that if we even lose points later on, we get a draw or we lose, at least we are still in the top teams. And I think if you secure like 16 points, you're going to be able to qualify to the next round. And yeah, that's about Arsenal. That's about it, man. That's about it. And now we're gonna talk about Newcastle. Newcastle United won 4-0. 4-0 to the Magpies. 4-0 to the Magpies. Uh, the score line really reflects how strong, the English teams compared to others. And this Belgian team, I think they had no chance whatsoever. You can see the possession was completely to Tottenham, even though they had more shots, but it was ineffective because the shots on target are similar, which is 6 all. The passes, Newcastle had more. The accuracy, the fouls, all of that in Newcastle's favor, and it's a clear, levels. You can see the level difference between Newcastle and this team. So it really is not much to talk about, there. Voltamata scores, so that's one thing, and I think that really boosts also the players' confidence. Isak is not scoring and Voltamata scoring, so I think that really helps him, even in the league form. That will help him to get more confidence, and the dangerous part about a striker when he gains form and confidence, then he is going to keep bagging goals. The player is going to keep bagging goals, and I think that was important for them. The players like Ilanga, Gordon, and Isak. Sorry, not Isak. Isak is gone now. And Voltamata. Those three are really starting to play and understand each other very well. So I think they're going to be a very dangerous trio in the front for Newcastle for this season. I know they lost Isak, who's a very important player. Or used to be for Newcastle. Now he's Liverpool. But I think Newcastle adapted very well, and on top of it, they got a profit in terms of financials. So yeah, man, that's it for Newcastle. And Heavy Barnes scores in the fourth. Two penalties were scored. Not really much to talk about this game, except the part that Newcastle did their part. I mean, they had a tough one before, which is Barca. So they were not really expected to win against Barcelona. But against such teams, they are expected to win. And they did win. They won 4-0. And God knows that I don't even know how to pronounce this team, man. It's called something Saint Royal, something from Belgium, man. And nobody gives a shit, bro. Nobody gives a shit who they play. But yeah, man. But still, now we're going to talk about Chelsea. I have a lot to say about Chelsea. I have a lot to say about Chelsea, man. And this is for you, Hanno, if you are there. Big up to you, my brother. I want to talk about Chelsea. I'm not so happy with Chelsea's performances so far. They're looking abysmal. They're looking so bad. So Chelsea won. Even though they won, I have a lot to say about them. They won 1-0 against Benfica in Stamford Bridge in London. The issue is, for Chelsea, let's talk about the game first. Neto had a brilliant, really game. He crossed the ball. Garnacho was in the follow-up. He tried to cross it in, but it was too difficult for the Benfica defender to remove it, and he scored an own goal. That's fine. They managed to get another chances from Enzo. Enzo, Enzo's a very dangerous guy when he passes the ball. Man, I like the way he lobs it in, man. It's just a killing ball, And he tried to do that with Estevao, but Estevao couldn't really convert it to a goal. However, now what I want to say about Chelsea is the following: they have a disciplinary issue. This is now the third game, okay, the third game in a row they get a red card. Now, in this case, it did not impact them. Why? Because it happened on the 96th minute. Where in the other games, where Sanchez got a red card versus Manchester United, where Chaluba got a red card against Brighton, that cost them the game. Not a draw, that cost them the game. They lost versus Manchester United and they lost versus Brighton. So they are bleeding points just because of disciplinary actions. And this is really important. Not aside that the Chelsea, I don't really rate the Chelsea defense. I truly don't. I think they're weak defensively, especially with the Colwell injury that they got. He got an ACL from the beginning of the season, so they are short when it comes to defense. So on top of their bad defense, they're having a disciplinary issues. Red cards, 3 games in a row. That's very, very alarming. Very, very alarming for Chelsea to have 3 red cards, consecutive red cards. I know it's a Champions League, but still 3 red cards. That raises a lot of questions, and rightfully so. A Chelsea fan should raise the question and say, "What the hell are we doing? You're getting red cards, and that's why you're losing games and you're losing points." So this is where the issue lies for me. I mean, for Chelsea specifically, Mariska needs to find a solution within the dressing room, within the players. Excuse me, within the players, or try to find something. This cannot continue. You cannot keep getting red cards and expecting yourself to win. You cannot. And as Arsenal, as Arsenal, we lost a lot of points because of disciplinary issues and red cards that we had. And we blame the refs a lot. We say, hey, the ref were against us and all that crap. Yeah, that's fine. We can blame the ref, but still, some of them were true, were correct calls. But in this case, disciplinary issues will impact you severely in the league, severely. And this is what happened to them versus Brighton, versus Manchester United. So I hope. I mean, I don't hope for Chelsea to win, but for the sake of them, they need to fix up. They really, really need to fix up. That's all I want to say about Chelsea. I mean, that's the real key takeaway, and this should be the concern about for Chelsea fans is how to find a better way not to lose your shit like that. The next one is Spurs. Spursy, Spursy, Spursy. They drew. They drew, bro. They drew. Bodo Glimt. I think they're a Norwegian team. When I saw the goals, I'm not gonna lie, that guy dribbled their defense, man. They just knocked the shit out of them. The dribble from that guy. I think his name is Horgan or something, man. And that's how I don't even know the players or the teams. And the weird part is they were really dominating. They were. If you watch even the replay, I mean the highlights, they were really dominating Spurs. Tottenham were peppered by this team. You can see even the stats ain't lying. Look, 18 shots, 8 shots for Tottenham. 4 shots on target, 3 for Tottenham. Possession wise, 52%. And I think the 52% came somehow in the second half. Passes, even the passes, 505 pass for what do you call it, Bodo Glimt, and 48% for Spurs. So they really dominated them. They really dominated them. I don't understand what Thomas Frank was doing. And Ash, you were right again. I think I got caught up in the hype, seeing Spurs won against City, Spurs drawing to PSG. But I was fooled by that. I was really fooled by it. And this is what we're getting. Look at this shit. They're drawing with a team that is unknown, and they're not really getting the results. They're not. They're not. And I think it happened to them in the league as well. In many teams, they shouldn't draw and they actually should win, but they're not winning it. So Spurs is Spurs. That's all you can say. Spurs is Spurs, and for the game itself, they had some VAR interferences, but who gives a crap? Nobody gives a crap about that. And you should win such games because those are considered to be the easy games for you in the run. I'm sure Spurs is going to have a tougher teams to play against. So if you're not getting those 3 points from those type of teams, I'm not sure you're going to get them from Atletico Madrid or whatever. So it's very very difficult. It's very very difficult. And I don't know about Spurs, but so far after this round, this is how uh, the table looks like, right? And aside of the top teams, I think they're all there, rightfully so, because that's like the top echelon of the teams: the Bayern Munich, the Real Madrid, the PSG, the Inter, even Arsenal is there with 2 wins. Those are the teams that got 6 points. Uh, the teams that I'm surprised they're not there are two only. And when I'm talking about the top 8 teams, is Barcelona and Chelsea. Sorry, and Liverpool. Those are the 2 teams I think they should be in the top 8 teams. I mean, speaking of the levels of the teams, of course the form matters, and if you lose games, you're gonna lose games regardless. I mean, if you keep losing against Galatasaray, man, I mean, I'm gonna question you, bro. I'm gonna question you. You can't lose to Kebab or Shawarma FC, and you consider yourself a top team in the UCL. But PSG last season had a bad run in the group stage or the league phase, you want to call it, and yet they won. So I'm not gonna take this into consideration and say this is detrimental, but it helps you because if you are in the round of playoffs bracket, then you're gonna play the teams that are in the top, and it's gonna be very difficult for you to play. So it positions yourself to have probably than not to have an easier team in the knockout stages. So that's why it's kind of important for you to end up in the first top 8. But other than that, I think uh, I think it's gonna be doesn't matter because PSG showed and showcased that if it doesn't matter if you do not very good in the because some teams don't really, I would say, flourish until later on the season, right? And PSG was one of those teams. They were that type of team, and now they won against Barcelona, by the way. They're one of the teams that didn't really look so good at the beginning, but when they clicked and when they took it up a notch, damn, that PSG was dynamic and destroying everybody in front of them. They destroyed Liverpool, they destroyed Arsenal, and eventually they battered Inter Milan in the final with a 5-0. So yeah, that's probably it for I would say. Um, Let me see. Do I have the next one? I hope I have it. No, I don't. But anyways, the next game for Arsenal will be against Atletico Madrid. So, oh yeah, I do. Let me post it here and let's talk about it. Even it's gonna take me a few minutes. Not really gonna take long. So the next games, match day 3, right? So this is how it will look like, and so Arsenal is the biggest game because they're gonna play against Atletico Madrid, and I'm talking when I say the biggest game compared to for the English teams, and I'm not really watching the others. Um, who else? Liverpool are gonna play Frankfurt, so Ikitike is gonna play against his ex team. Tottenham against Monaco. I wouldn't be surprised if they lose or draw that game. To be honest, at this stage, Chelsea versus Ajax. That should be an easy game for Chelsea. It should be an easy game. I mean, when I say easy game, I'm saying on paper. Doesn't mean they will win it, but they should win it. And where's City? Oh, Newcastle against Benfica. So that would be a nice game to watch. Jose Mourinho's Benfica, if you guys don't know, and Villarreal versus Man City. So the Villarreal versus Man City and Arsenal, Atletico Madrid, I think those are the two tough ones for the English teams. However, I think Atletico Madrid is banging, to be honest. And Simeone just got a tone and a tune out of Alvarez. Woo! That Alvarez, man. They knocked. I mean, they spanked Madrid 5 goals. So yeah, I'm worried. I'm honestly worried, and I think this is one of the major tests for Arsenal this season to see where we are in terms of our levels and if we actually can compete in that high level, because those are the team that you're gonna probably gonna face in the knockouts: the Atletico Madrid, the Inter Milans, the PSG, the Barças, and Real Madrid, of course. Those are the team that really you should be worried about. You should be really, you know, looking into those games and see where you are. I mean, when you play Atletico Madrid, mm, Simeone is gonna give you a hard game. Definitely a hard game, man. Definitely a hard game from Simeone. So if we do win it, it really not only helps, building the confidence, but also it really shows the levels you are, where you are currently. But yeah, so that's it for the AAR today. The after action review of the Champions League. Again, I'm so happy about Arsenal winning. We're sitting with 6 points and clean sheet. Let me just mention that clean sheet. Raya had a good save, so I'm over the moon. And this will help us also on Saturday when we play West Ham. And it's gonna be in Emirates Stadium, and then we're gonna hit like a 2 week break. But stay tuned. We're probably gonna post stuff. We're probably gonna stream about stuff. Let's see how it goes. I don't have anything in particular planned except for the watch along and the AAR for the Premier League, the after action review to talk about the full fixture of the Premier League for the top 6 teams. But other than that, I'm good. I hope you are good. And hit the like button, subscribe, share the video. And if you're watching on the replay, leave a comment below. Tell me what you guys think. And for that, I'm going to end up the stream right here and say thank you very much and have a lovely, lovely evening.